If you're a man aged 16 to 40, is it possible to build a body like Hugh Jackman's in as many appearances as Wolverine without the use of steroids? Now, I'm sure many of you have just watched the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie. It probably made you laugh, it might have made you cry, but it definitely made you ask the question, what the fuck do I have to do to look like that? And does it involve shoving needles into my ass on the regular? Well, there are two answers to that question. The first answer is the one that Hollywood will give you, and the second answer is what you'll get from people deep in the fitness community that are in on the open secrets about what it actually takes to look like Wolverine. So let's start by covering what Hugh Jackman and his trainers say they do to get that Wolverine look, and then we'll cover the parts that they leave out. Hugh Jackman has been playing Wolverine for more than 2 decades, and along the way, him and his trainers have refined the Wolverine physical preparation process down to the point where it only takes 6 months of hardcore training and dieting to get him Wolverine ready. Now, fitness is always a huge part of Hugh's life, but he really kicks it into high gear during this process. His workouts have varied over the years, but typically his Wolverine program has him lifting 4 to 5 days a week with a big focus on heavy compound movements like the squat, bench, and deadlift, which are supplemented with more standard bodybuilding movements like bicep curls, using different machines, lat pull downs, etc. Then on top of this, Hugh will start each workout with 10 minutes of cardio as a warm-up, and then regardless of if he's bulking or cutting, he'll do 20 to 30 minutes of cardio at the end of each workout as well. This is a very basic training plan, but guess what? When it comes to training for muscle growth, it's been shown time and time again that the basics work, and they work best. Anytime someone tries to tell you otherwise, they're probably trying to sell you some proprietary bullshit that doesn't actually work. Now, of course, there is way more to Hugh's Wolverine prep than just the training program, including those open secrets I talked about earlier. But if you guys want to try out Hugh Jackman's training for yourself, because it is a legitimately good plan, I've made it easy for you by using my 7 years of experience as a personal trainer to create a fully detailed 8-week program based on his style of training, and you can access it for free on the science-based training app Boostcamp. Boostcamp is the #1 free training app on the market, with free programs from all of your favorite fitness YouTubers and exercise scientists. So go give Hugh's training program a try after this video, or take a look at one of the other hundreds of free programs by clicking the link down below, downloading the app, and make sure to use referral code Demers when you sign up for a free bonus and so that they know I sent you. Okay, so Hugh's training program might sound like a lot, but Hugh actually says that the training is the easy part of this routine, and the hard part is all of the eating. He says during his bulking phase, he needs to eat up to 8,000 calories a day to put on mass, which sounds to me like an overinflated number that was pulled out of someone's ass to make his training sound a lot more intense than it actually is. I mean, 8,000 calories per day is how much Olympic legend Michael Phelps had to eat during his peak. Regardless, Hugh Jackman is a naturally skinny 6'2" guy, so he definitely needs to eat a lot to bulk up. It just might not be 8,000 calories a day. But once the bulking has been completed, Hugh will go straight to the other extreme of dieting misery and drop his calories down to next to nothing so he can shred off any excess fat and get that dick skin lean Wolverine look. Okay, now here's the thing. You probably know lots of people who follow this kind of routine. Hell, maybe you even train and diet this hard yourself. But even though you and or those people you know train and diet just as hard as Hugh Jackman, they don't look nearly as Wolverine-like as he does. So what gives? What is he doing that we aren't? Now, most of you would probably say the answer is obvious. Steroids. He's doing steroids and we aren't. At least most of us aren't. No disrespect to the juice heads, the audience. But even assuming that Hugh Jackman is taking something a little bit stronger than creatine and hard work, that's still only part of the open secrets of Hollywood fitness that allows Hugh Jackman to transform into Wolverine on the silver screen. And a good number of these secrets can be summed up in one word: peaking. In the world of bodybuilding, peaking describes the process of fine-tuning a competitor's body to achieve optimal muscle definition, fullness, and vascularity for a very short period of time, usually just a day or two. This process involves weeks of the strategic overconsumption of water and sodium paired with the underconsumption of carbs, followed by the exact opposite, a short period of severely limiting water and sodium intake paired with a drastic increase in carb intake. I know I sound like I'm yapping, but the long and short of it is this process gets someone very, very dehydrated while getting their muscles very, very full of glycogen, aka stored carbohydrates. And unsurprisingly, this is a very unhealthy and potentially dangerous, even deadly process. But it does leave you with a very muscular look, because this process dehydrates the body and creates a lack of water between the skin and the muscle. And then that huge intake of carbs stuffs the muscles full of glycogen, which makes them look extra pumped and full. When you look at the famous clips of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, like the ones from Days of Future Past, you can see this exact peaked look in action. In fact, I would say that this dehydrated peaked look is Hugh Jackman's signature look. When you think of Hugh Jackman looking ripped, this is the kind of look that you imagine. But speaking of a pump, peaking is only half of the process that makes Hollywood actors look like they're in better shape than they actually are. Actors will also lift weights on set right before their big shirtless scenes to pump up their muscles and have them look more impressive active than they are at rest. The directors can also make sure that they have perfect lighting on set that hits the actors' muscles just right, perfectly casting shadows that create the illusion of extreme muscle definition. The actors might also be oiled up, adding to that glistening, sweaty look. And on top of all of this, Hollywood has been known to just straight up use CGI to digitally enhance the look of actors' muscles. And in addition to all of this, yes, spoiler alert, Hugh Jackman is old. He's an old guy. He is now 55, and even a decade ago when this scene was shot, he was 45, which is still about 20 years past the point where his natural testosterone production would be at its peak. So is he probably working with a doctor to supplement his natural testosterone production with some TRT to bring him back up to the test levels of a 20-something-year-old? Yes, almost certainly yes, which there's nothing wrong with in my opinion. But here's the thing, you watching this right now are probably a 20-something-year-old, or at least under 35, which is very young, which means you either have high testosterone levels because you're young, or at least you have the potential to have good high testosterone levels if you change things about your lifestyle. So what I'm saying is, if you're young, you're pretty much in the same league as Hugh Jackman. So to answer the question of this video, could you look like Wolverine without steroids? And also a month of peaking like a bodybuilder, and the perfect lighting, a huge pump, a fake tan, 1 full liter of baby oil on your body, and maybe a little bit of CGI? No, definitely not. After all, even Hugh Jackman himself barely ever looks like this, if ever, really. But could you look like what Hugh Jackman, the actual living man with no CGI or effects or anything like that, actually looks like 99.9% of the time without all those things? Yes, 1000%, especially if you're under 35 and healthy. Remember, at the time that these photos were taken, Hugh Jackman had been consistently training for 2 decades at least. If you can't look like this after training your ass off naturally for 20 years, what the fuck is even the point of going to the gym? Thanks for watching the video. Go click the link down below and use code Demers to check out Boost Camp to get some free workout programs. And now go check out the video on Jake Gyllenhaal's process that got him into insane shape for Roadhouse. It's actually a pretty unique training style, and I actually really like it. So I'll see you guys there. Peace out.